The Sony A75, it's real, it's coming soon. Now some say October, some say November, and some dare even say January, 1 year after it was supposed to be announced. Which is it? What are the specs? Click subscribe as we get to the information. Your subscription means more to us than IBIS does to a caffeine-addled handheld operator. Hi, I'm Simon, your friendly focus-peaking correspondent who scans the news and rumor sites so you can keep shooting. And thanks for subscribing. Okay, today we're focused on some new information about the Sony A75. Yay! It's been a while, hasn't it? A camera that was scheduled for Q1, and I'm talking early Q1 like January. But it's been delayed, well, time and time again. Nothing really new in this industry. Now, I can tell you now that it's going to be announced in October. Yep, that's next month. In fact, that's just, 2 weeks away. The only question is, are we getting an early October announcement or an announcement at the end of the month? I'm going to predict that we're going to see a late October announcement. We plan to cover the announcement live, although that does depend on the time of day. We're not a big fan of those 3 a.m. announcements like Nikon did with the ZR. And now for the specifications. The A7 IV had a 33 megapixel backside illuminated sensor, up to 10 frames per second burst, and 4K up to 60 frames per second, but only in a Super 35 crop. And 4K? Well, it was oversampled, but only up to 30 frames per second, not 60 like the competition. Now, Sony doesn't have to give us a higher resolution here, and we really don't need it. But a faster, more efficient sensor? Allowing us to get, come on Sony, give us more than 10 frames per second. That's well below what Canon does with the R6 at 40 frames per second, and that's RAW. And the Nikon Z6 Mark III? Well, it can go all the way up to 120 frames per second in JPEG. And if Sony's engineers are having trouble figuring out how they can do this to get past 10 frames per second, well, I'm pretty sure they can ask Canon and Nikon for tips, or at least troll their patent applications. A move to CF Express Type B would certainly help, but I'm pretty sure they can squeeze at least another 10 frames per second out of Type A cards, especially those new V4 cards. The A75 could get a boost to 5.76 million dots for the EVF. I can't see Sony delivering 9.44 million dots like the A9 or the A1. Sony's not a big fan of cannibalizing their higher-end models. The Nikon Z6 Mark III? Well, it's currently the segment leader. It has the first partially stacked sensor, 24 megapixels. The design speeds up readout for faster autofocus and video performance. It also brings a 5.76 million dot EVF, oversample full frame 4K, 6K oversample 4K up to 60 frames per second, not 30, and internal 6K 60 Nikon RAW options, all for a low price of around $2,500. But that price of $2,500, that was its release price. As you can plainly see, it's now on for $2,196, the exact same price as the Nikon ZR. Nikon just raised the floor on what the next generation 24 to 33 megapixel hybrid mirrorless camera should be, at least in the latter half of 2025. And there's one thing that Nikon does over the Sony. They offer more frequent firmware updates, keeping their cameras feeling newer for longer without breaking things. The Sony A75 must deliver a faster autofocus system, a new sensor, faster readout to reduce rolling shutter, and unlock those higher frame rates, higher than 10 frames per second. And of course, video without that heavy crop. Faster readouts will reduce rolling shutter and unlock higher frame rates in video without that heavy crop. And oversampled, well, we can do 7 to 6K oversampled 4K up to, 60 frames per second, not just Super 35. And if Sony wants to catch up to Canon, well, they should offer OpenGate, an old capability that's, an old capability in terms of television and movies that's, now coming to mirrorless cameras. Sony's no longer the leader. In fact, they are dead last in the segment. Sony has the talent to catch up to the competition and even beat them. But they have a nasty habit of crippling their cameras to protect other higher-end models. While the Nikon Z6 Mark III delivers better capabilities than the Canon EOS R6 Mark II, the Canon EOS R6 Mark III is expected to be announced in Q4, And it is expected to, well, knock the Nikon Z6 Mark III off its top perch. I hope Sony does bring their A game and not another recycling from the parts bin. While Sony does have that vast and open E-mount, one of the biggest reasons for moving to Sony's mirrorless hybrid system, bringing more options than any other platform, they got to their current number 1/number 2 position by being an innovator and leading the market. Fail to match or beat the Nikon Z6 Mark III or the Canon EOS R6 Mark III? We'll cover both the Sony A75 announcement and the Canon EOS R6 Mark III announcement, but I suggest waiting to see what both cameras deliver before making your decision. And one other thing, that will probably bring us very close to Black Friday, where we will have the best sales of the year. And if you're interested in purchasing the, well, Canon EOS R6 Mark III or the A75, or an older camera such as the A7IV or the R6 Mark II, then please consider using my affiliate links, my product links down below. This channel is very much viewer supported. We don't have any of those pesky sponsorship ads, and you don't see a lot of pop-ups coming on the screen. We believe that our content is good enough to have you to watch this video all the way to the end. So if you're looking at purchasing something in the United States from Adorama, B&H, Walmart, we have some links to Walmart. They're kind of new. Amazon.com, we get a small commission back, which helps keep the lights on, and it's very much appreciated. Thank you for using our links in the past. This channel wouldn't be where it is today without you. And also a big thanks to our sponsors, not sponsors, our sources, because with you and our sources together, this channel is one of the leading channels when it comes to news and rumors, and thank you very much for your support. It means an awful lot to me. An awful lot more information is going to be coming out over the next coming days and weeks, so don't be surprised if another video follows this up very shortly. This video, as well as the video I'm publishing tomorrow, will help shake out the rumor tree and hopefully get some more information soon. As far as the Sony A75 goes, I'm expecting validated links before the end of this week. That's pretty impressive. Maybe next week, but I'm expecting stuff is going to start to shake out this week. And the Canon EOS R6 Mark III, I'm really surprised already. This thing's been leaking since mid last year, which is why I don't really have a lot of faith in a lot of the rumored specifications we're seeing out there, with the exception of the sensor. Pretty well everybody believes that that C50 sensor is going to be in the R6 Mark III. It just seems to be perfect synergies right there. Anyhow, thanks so much for tuning in. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you again soon. And please just click that subscribe button. It means an awful lot to us. Thanks. Cheers. We'll see you again soon.